Well, I didn't plan on making another video this soon, but within 5 minutes of my last video going online, I already had a couple of angry flat earthers demanding proof that my last video was just a restatement of scientific theory that couldn't possibly be proven. So I figured it's my last night down here in the Florida house before I go back north again. So I figured we'd do a little experiment, kind of a elementary school style experiment for some scientific proof that the flat earthers wanted to justify my view that the world is in fact a globe. So we're going to do it pretty simply. We're going to use my table here as their model of the flat earth. I've got a nice deflated beach ball here to use for the earth. I've got representations of the sun and moon, and my cell phone for some light. So let's try a little experiment, shall we? So if we start off and we say that the earth is flat, I'm going to put my ball down and get rid of this. Now the common consensus in the flat earth community is that the sun and the moon kind of orbit the earth like this. You know, the sun's on one side, the moon's on the other. If that were the case, we would never actually see a sunset, would we? Now I want you to think about this from your own personal experience, and this goes from both sides of the debate here. If this is the sun, we'll get rid of the moon, and the sun is going around the earth, and you're right here. As it passes over you, that sun is going to seem larger, would it not? If the earth were flat and it was going around like this, like they say. Well, if that's the case, as it gets over here, with the earth being a flat plane at that point, you should still, when it's nighttime on this side, you should still be able to see the sun very teeny tiny in the sky, right? I mean, it makes sense. If you're on a flat plane, that you should always be able to see the sun, that it should never disappear. The only reason it would is if you're on around Earth, and the Earth is going around the sun, and you're back here, and the Earth is rotating. As you're orbiting and the Earth is turning, you're going to face the sun, and the sun's going to go away. So a way to kind of demonstrate that would be to use the light on your cell phone. So if we turn our light on here, I'll turn it where you can see it. You've got the sun shining on this side of the earth as it rotates. I mean, this is what we're taught in elementary school, and it makes sense, which is why I don't understand why the flat earthers don't get it. But let's say that we're at this point here. Now, as the earth is rotating, you're going to see the sun drop down the horizon right there at that point. That's a sunset. When it leaves your horizon where that earth is rotating, you get a sunset. If the earth were flat, the sun would get closer, and as it rotates on its axis, it would get smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's where their theories don't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I was told to prove it, that I can't just talk about scientific theory, that I should do some experiments to prove it. So here's my answer to those people: prove that wrong.